There's actually a lot happening in crypto, and it's all really coming from one team. And that team is the guys over at Agent Hustle. So every Friday, we are lucky enough to have great guys from Agent Hustle. Today, we have Adam back. He's back here. Man, I said Adam back. We have Adam McBride back.
Oh my God, it's Adam back. He's
no, we got Adam McBride back.
Friday.
Last week we had the great Chris Dav. We've had Jake on many times, so it's great. It's gonna be great to talk to Adam today. But real quick, what Agent Hustle is your one-stop shop for all your needs when it comes to trading with AI, your AI helper. There's no reason to use ChatGPT. There's no reason to use any other AI because Agent Hustle is actually the guy on Solana, and not just Solana. They're on Hedera, their own Binance Smart Chain, and they're on a couple other places as well. It's really exciting. Definitely check out Agent Hustle, but it's not just that. They're having something huge happening right now, which is the biggest migration event in history. MigrateFun is doing about 20 plus projects that are actually going to pump.fun. This is the first time in history we're seeing migrations to pump.fun all through these guys at MigrateFun. And it is an exciting time to be in this ecosystem, but it's not just that. They also are doing really cool stuff with Emblem Vault. And we're going to talk about all this right now. So without further ado, let's bring up the great Adam McBride. Adam, welcome back to OnChain Revolution, man. What's up, dude?
Yo, bro, I got to get some of these crockpot recipes, bro. Well,
welcome back to Crockpot Revolution. No,
my wife uses a pressure cooker, and every time she puts that thing on, I'm like, bro, is this going to be the end, man? Is she going to blow up our house with that stupid pressure cooker, man? I don't know, bro. Dude, I like using DoorDash. Let's just order food, bro. I don't want to cook anything.
The crock pot is the greatest thing in the world, dude. Like I make dinner for our family here, and I just put it on at 8 o'clock in the morning. There's a couple of things of chicken in there. Put some sauce on that. Later, put some noodles. Right? I make every meal in the crock pot because I don't gotta cook. I go up at 2 o'clock when they're getting home from school, and I'm like, oh, it's in the crock pot. Go eat. Like it's the greatest thing ever.
What's your kids are never gonna eat crockpot meals, bro. They're like, I'm so sick of goddamn crockpot meals. Man.
You can make some really good stuff in there, bro.
I know you can.
What's the fast one that I was telling you about?
Pressure cooker. That's what.
No, but what's it called? I forgot. It's like a. Anyways, yeah, I use that. It's
you
like
use it,
yeah,
bro,
shorter.
You just gotta be careful, dude. I know there every couple times a year down here in Costa Rica, somebody blew up the fucking kitchen with the goddamn pressure cooker.
Damn,
you just gotta be careful. Just be careful.
That's crazy. But you guys have been super busy, man.
Crazy.
You know, and that's a good thing, especially with you guys, because I feel like you guys have really built this like formidable entity and Emblem and the products within, right? Like each product that you guys have that's live right now is generating revenue. And I don't think many, Web3 native builders without funding can say that, you know what I mean? And so you guys have really done a great job. So, definitely props to you and the team. But I want to kind of start things off a little bit from, the NFT ordinal side of things, because I know that that's kind of one of the areas that you are, you have that specialty in with your history, NFT history knowledge and all that stuff. But Shizzy was asking during the live stream before you came on, is this the bottom for NFTs, or do you see like going down? He says possibly another 50%.
Bro, I mean, it's like the old, investment advice. It's like, oh yeah, it's lost 80% of its value. Now it just has 80% more to go, right? You can get these like it goes there is always lower, bro, right? So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think Leo selling his 69 was a bit of a bummer for a lot of people on the timeline, but I always said, dude, I don't look at it that way. I just look people have to sell for whatever reasons,
Christmas is here, right?
That's Christmas here, bro. The kid needs the new, Kung Fu Grip action figure, bro. It's like, he got to sell. You got to make some money. It's one of these things where NFTs, even during 21, I said, during the kind of historical NFT, boom cycle, I was like, but, for the rest of the world to come into NFTs and really own NFTs may take a decade, and I think we're at that point now, where the belief that was founded in 21, which was really strong and correct, I'm still very much a believer that it was correct. We're just at that. We're hitting the bottom stages now, where the people who actually believed in it are like, oh man, maybe I was wrong. Maybe that was stupid, And I think that you're wrong if you're thinking that, but that's not to say that Bored Apes. I mean, I saw today, you can pick up a Bored Ape for 5 ETH, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, and I'm just like, You know, could it go to 2 ETH? Could it go to 1 ETH? Could it go to 0.5 ETH? Like, yeah, it can. You know, but does that mean that NFTs aren't going to be valuable or hold a place in society? Like, I know with basically, unless, you know, the internet stops working and we stop using computers, like, I know that NFTs are going to be an important part of our society. You know, how we view them and where the value lies, you know, that's where it gets really, you know, fun and interesting and hard to predict where the value lies. But NFTs aren't going anywhere. Are we going to see this like massive bull run of, you know, $100,000 NFTs? I'd say probably not, right? Because we've run that. We've run the playbook. But that's not to say like NFTs are going anywhere. Or NFTs aren't going to be a really interesting portion of everybody's life. Like they are. We're this bottom that we're a part of right now for NFTs and, I mean, crypto field. The timeline vibes are like the worst I've ever seen in crypto, which at the same time, concurrently at the same time, it's the most bullish time in the history of crypto. And yet the two don't match, right? Our bags are down. Everybody's been like wrecked this cycle. And yet at the same time, the tokenization of everything is happening. Like it's literally happening. But we feel like, well, is it going to be on public blockchains or is it going to be Fedi chains or what's it going to be? You know, and we feel like the vibes are that, oh, maybe we were wrong. Maybe it's not going to be on public blockchains. Maybe it's going to be on, you know, BlackRock chains. And, you know, yeah, blockchain tech good, public blockchain tech not good. You know, I mean, I think that's retarded. I think that's stupid. I think that's wrong. But the vibes are like, maybe we made a mistake, you know? And, you know, so for me, somebody who's a true believer in what crypto is, which is like a freedom technology, I'm comfortable, you know, I don't have a ton of money and stuff, you know, I'm down as bad as everybody else. But the reality is that the core reason I'm here is still very much alive and more alive than ever. And so in that way, I'm continually bullish, but our Bitcoin bags are in shambles.
No, they are. And I just want to say for the people that are taking stabs at Leonidas, I think you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and like ask yourself, you know, what has he done for the space? The guy's still like constantly active. He's done a lot for ordinals in the Bitcoin ecosystem, in my opinion, at least. And so that's just kind of where we are in the space, right? Yeah. But I also think that, you know, your opinion, or not your opinion necessarily, but like what could formulate into what our industry is a mixture of both, you know, public and private, right? Because if you look at collectibles industries, like there's huge like private companies that are like making tons of money manufacturing those cards or, you know, toys or whatever they are. And, you know, we saw a resurgence this year actually in that industry to where prices were crazy again, like similar to 2021. So I actually think that we do see
Pokemon top for a while there. Has it topped? Has it gone down at all, or is it still running? I don't even
going.
I mean, it's still popular. It's still popular, but like Pokemon will always be like a popular like collectible you know, community and sector and stuff, and it all ties together with just the collectibles in general. They go to the same conferences as sports cards and stuff and all these things, right? But my point is that like I do think we see NFTs at crazy prices again in the future. Is it going to happen this next year? I'm not sure, but I do think that we start to see that again, because a lot of people actually thought, you know, hey, you know, NFTs, we'll never see that again. Ordinals proved that a little bit wrong in 2023 when we saw some of that get like pretty high, right? So I think we see it again. It's just we are the most suppressed asset group right now.
Totally.
That's for sure. And eventually, like what happens when you keep suppressing an asset group? Eventually it explodes, right? So that's just my theory.
Well, I mean, if you saw, I think it was today, Beeple put out this tweet where he retweeted, basically it was like a TikTok of a woman who's like a art critic type woman who's basically like, fuck you and your NFTs, right? basically like, who is this Beeple character to go directly to the consumer and not include, you know, an art house or a gallery as like a middleman? And it was a perfect, I mean, it was like a softball for people, right? And of course, then all the NFT people. And so like, there's this core of us which knows that this is we know, I know with certainty that this is a future of collectibles, whether it's not maybe the entire collectible market, but this is like huge. And for art, it's huge. It's settled for me. But the rest of the world is not settled for. Like they still think though NFTs are just going to go away, or oh, people NFTs are stupid. Oh, that was dumb. That was it's not the way this works. Not the way with the just sheer volume of artists who are digital artists, and the way digital we're in fucking the metaverse right now, and people don't even recognize it. You know, this is it's already happened. It's not even like a dream of something that will happen. This has happened. It's just a question of, you know, how we're going to own the assets, right? And, you know, I mean, I'm completely convinced of the way it's going to happen, but, you know, I know when shit gets rough and stuff goes bad that people get shaken out. It's just the way it is, man. And the majority of people will get shaken out. But, you know, for me, I just bury those wallets, man. Those wallets, I don't even know where the fuck those wallets are, man. And I probably won't even have access to them. It's like my kid in 20 years will get those wallets. You know, good for him, man. Live the high life. But, you know, for me, they're just buried in the backyard, bro.
I think about that same thing. I just hope they can read my writing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's jump into. So you guys, man, you guys are building everywhere. Really, you're building for NFTs with Emblem Vault. You guys are building for AI with AI Agent Hustle. You guys are building for meme coins and meme coin launch pads and pool changes, right? With MigrateFun. You guys have a lot going on right now.
Crazy.
Are you guys feeling the pressure right now, or does it feel like you guys feel real at ease right now when it comes to marketing conditions?
We definitely don't feel at ease. I mean, we're still very much still a small kind of scrappy team. There's not millions of dollars in runway and stuff, right? So we're still hustling harder than ever, honestly. Let's be clear. I mean, it's Jake and I, you know, at least just managing the kind of deal flow, you know, for people who want and teams that want to take part in MigrateFun, want to migrate their projects. Bro, it's been 24/7 for 3 months. Like it's been nonstop calls, meetings, endless. I mean, literally endless DMs back and forth to, you know, walk teams through the process. It's complicated, right? And for a lot of teams who want to, you know, they had an AI project or they have a real project and they want to take it forward through a migration, you know, this is a big deal for them. And so people want to be handheld, and so it's a lot of hand holding. I will say for me personally, though, I mentioned it to, I think it was Chris the other day. I was like, for the first time in Emblem's, the time I've been with Emblem, which is like 3 years, the company's bigger than my brain can fully comprehend. We're kind of at that point. We have so much going on so many different like vectors, that it's like, holy cow. You know, it was real easy when we're an NFT bridge, right? And it was kind of, I get it with Hustle, but now we're migrating. And I could, you know, we can get into some teasers of what's coming up with migrating, which is insane. But all these pieces, it's like, what are we, man? And it's like, oh my God, we're this like entire stack of interoperability between blockchains, and how that, you know, plays out over the next, you know, 6 months to 2 years. I couldn't be more excited about it. I mean, it's just incredible when you think that, I don't know, Privy was acquired for, I don't know, $700 million or something. And they basically had one sliver of a stack that we have. Like they had the wallet interface, but we have Privy, we have Wormhole, we have like, I mean, it's just like, holy cow. You know, part of this is like, and Jake's got a tough job of this, and we're hitting him with what we want to do, but guiding the ship to where we want to go is a little bit challenging because we have so many of these kind of opportunities and stuff, right? But for right now, just leaning into MigrateFun, right? Obviously, we had you know, the pump, first group to pump, which is huge and is going on right now, which is amazing. You know, it's like, I mean, if you remember when we first did the migration, you guys remember back in like July, we had that like blow up on the timeline where people were like, you're stealing projects, right? Because there's people on pump who were pissed that people were moving away from pump, and now everybody's moving back to pump, and you know, you don't hear a peep, right? So it's crazy times, but it's yeah, it's just amazing to be like the leader of a narrative, you know, is really it's really nice place to be for sure.
And that's the thing. Just because you move out of New York doesn't mean you can't move back to New
That's
York
right.
the same way you moved out, right?
Oh, that's right. I mean, I'll give you a little bit of what my vision is with this, and we're seeing it now on the small scale. It's not small, but on the scale of Solana and launch pads on Solana, right? When MigrateFun happened, people first were like, oh, I mean, when we built it, we thought, oh, everybody's going to want to go to Radium because everybody's going to want to be able to own the full pool and make the most money, right? Fuck, totally wrong. Like totally wrong. People want to go where the attention is. So we saw this big movement to Bonk. Now we're seeing this huge movement to Pump. But the reality is this makes them all compete against each other for the best rewards, the best system. Like, bro, if somebody came up with a brand new launchpad tomorrow and it was like a money printing machine for traders, guess what? Everybody would want to go over there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a never-ending battle. And the way I look at it now is that projects now, right now we're seeing it, okay, this movement amongst launchpads and stuff, but why is there not movement amongst chains? Why is Base not competing against Solana, not competing against BNB, not competing against Bitcoin, right? Why is that not happening yet? And the reality is I think it's in a lot of ways, it's not happening because we haven't built it yet. And this is we're in negotiations with a huge project. I'm not even going to mention the chains and stuff, but with a huge project, multiple hundreds of millions of dollars to move chain.
Yeah. In this market, wow, multiple hundreds of millions.
Well, yes. And like what I think this is gonna, if it go, I mean, there's a lot of factors. These are very complicated things. But if something like that happens, if they're the first through the door to do something like this, I think it just puts it, just a arrow in the center of the chart that, oh my God, look, I can go who's going to compete for me now? And I expect like Solana to come out and be like, come to Solana. Why would you want to live on Base? Right? We got all the users over here on Solana, right? Or maybe CZ's like, nope, ramp it up. Let's go. Everybody come to BNB, right? Who knows how that could go, right?
I feel like I create this like vision for you guys like all the time. It's like I talked about it all the time with Shizzy about like the one-stop shop for hustle. You know what I mean? Like just the one, you don't need any other wallets. You just go there. You can act as a terminal. You can just do regular spot, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Perps are going to be there. And so I always envisioned, I'm on the team, by the way. I'm just kidding. No, I always envisioned that that the migrations would be cross-chain. I mean, it just makes sense. It makes sense eventually, right, to get there. But one thing I will say about them wanting to go to another launchpad that has the attention, I think not only have you guys created such a good niche for this pain point and product that solves a pain point, that's always going to be needed, but also it's a marketing opportunity, big time for some of these projects and teams that have been stagnant a bit. And guess what? Now you're going to be listed as one of the migration teams and projects. If you have a rebrand, it's huge help. We're even trying to get a couple of these guys on the show as well, just to kind of, because we want to talk. We want to hear what they're doing, what they're building. So you guys, it's not just a migration opportunity of just, restart, but there's marketing involved with this as well.
Totally. 100%. And I saw somebody said, well, how do you move across chains? Wow. Right. It's funny because, I mean, you guys saw, maybe it was a week ago, Jesse from Base, they opened a bridge to Base from Solana, right? And back and forth, multi-way bridge. And they're like, come, you can trade your coins now on Base. But that's not really the way it works. Like, you can't I could take my fart coin and just go trade it on Base. It doesn't work that way. You have to set up liquidity pools and stuff like that. And to be real, even like big teams like Farcoin don't have the hundreds or thousands or millions of dollars needed to set up liquidity pools on multiple chains. They just don't have it, right?
Slippage will be too high. Yeah.
Yes, it's the cost and it's just, that bridge is great, but it doesn't actually really do anything. I had to talk with one of the, back and forth on the timeline with one of the, guys from Airdrome or whatever. And I was like, well, what about LPs and stuff? He's like, yeah, you just got to set them up yourself. And it's like, well, that makes it a zero for basically everything except like Sol and ETH. It's like nobody else is going to do anything with that, right? So to answer that question, the way it would be for, let's just say somebody wanted to move from Solana to Base, because it's a simple, right? Basically what MigrateFun does is it sells the tokens on Solana to extract all of that SOL. They then transfer the SOL to, ETH on Base, and then set up a new LP on Base, right? And so you'd issue new tokens on Base, right? That would be the way we would move off chain. And that's a super high level, like smooth brain way of describing it. But this is all done through like, smart contracts and all that sort of stuff. So it's very complicated. And there's only a few teams kind of in the world that could do it, but we can definitely do it. And, it feels like in a lot of ways we've been building for this moment to just like, this is going to happen, right? We've done kind of fungible bridges before. But fungible migrations, I think, are actually is the way that teams are going to want to do, and creates this competitive environment amongst chains for projects. So, I mean, just think of something simple. I mean, they don't even think they use a native token, but Polymarket, they want off that chain, right? Because the chain's doing nothing for them. And Solana is encouraging them. They're going to give them $25 million and come on over. And all of a sudden, Polymarket's on Solana, right? This is possible. And kind of any project like that with a native token on that chain, how are they going to move it? I mean, typically, yes, because these are usually big teams and stuff, they could also do airdrops and all that sort of stuff. But if you wanted to do it and actually do it with the tokens themselves on chain, look, there's us, bro. That's it. And so yeah, exciting, really exciting opportunity here for us. Just got to pull it off. So that's what we're like, can you relax? It's like, no fucking way, bro. Like even with pump and stuff, every one of these new migrations for me.
Yeah.
Like the adrenaline comes up, we test these ones, dozens of times, but still, it's still very kind of nerve wracking and stuff. It's crypto.
Yeah.
You just don't want to make mistakes. Yeah.
And I feel like you guys have this window right now where it's like if you get as much done as you possibly can, because like we're gonna see the Base token launch, right? And what that's gonna do, that's gonna open up a lot of liquidity for Base. They're gonna have more money than they ever had before. So if they wanted something like Farcoin, they can go to the leaders of Farcoin and say, "Hey guys, we'll give you $4 million to migrate Farcoin to here. You guys use a third party like MigrateFun, and we'll pay for everything. We'll make sure we add liquidity to the other side to make up for any difference." And now Farcoin is trading on Base chain, the biggest meme coin of this cycle is now trading on Base for potentially a few $1 million, right? So, and now Base is going to make off.
Who was it? Frank, right? Frank was able to get, I don't know, a couple chains to like pay him to move. He jumped and jumped again.
Wow,
smart.
I didn't realize that.
He went to Polygon and then he went to.
Well, I know he shifted, but I didn't know that he was getting
he's
compensated for that.
Oh yeah, literally millions, man, millions.
Yeah.
So imagine,
probably not. Yeah.
And that was for D gods, right? So imagine if Farcoin wanted to move. So
let me ask you about that though, because that's Farcoin's a huge like market cap, right? It's not close to what it was before, but still, I have a feeling it's going to get back to that. We're still sitting at 300 million plus. And it's like a community style coin, right? So would there have to be like a team, an official team behind it that filed paperwork and stuff at that size? Or would it just be, okay, whoever's the community lead can try to gather up the troops and do this?
It's an interesting question. And it's something we don't have a definitive answer on that yet. And it's one of the reasons we've not just made MigrateFun open to the public, where anybody can just go and do it, because it's very possible we do get, if we did open it, that you would get these kind of like basically CTOing a token, and Farcoin's a perfect example of it. If you and I've run the numbers on it because it's such a big market cap, like if it's some super low numbers, like if 5% of the tokens decided to like migrate, they could extract like 80% of the LP, right? It's like super, super low numbers because just the way, LP math works. So you could get these real crazy like zombie attacks or whatever, just vampire attacks on coins and stuff. And so I'm not exactly sure. I'd love to have your guys' opinion on that. Like, opening it to the public, how would that, just say just on Solana, not even cross chain, but just on Solana, if somebody wanted to vampire attack, Farcoin, and whales who own 5% could literally just suck up all the SOL and just click a new token, right? I mean, so I don't know, as the company that would kind of facilitate that, it's kind of something we don't have a definitive answer on. We're not really sure.
Could you guys do something in the sense of you would need at least 50% was migration does go through, or we refund?
Yeah, we could do that. We could do something like that. Yeah, so that's a good idea. Maybe that is, if it's done on like the public.
It's the fairest way, I think. Actually,
you have to get above 45% or 40% or something like that, or even 50. You have to get 51%.
Yeah, 51%. I think is perfect.
Yeah.
And that way, you at least get the majority of the community.
You get 51, it goes through. If not, then everyone gets a refund. Would that cost you guys? Because refunds if multiple refunds could hurt you guys in the sense of you guys got to keep.
Well, it wouldn't hurt us. It would be interesting for them though. So, for example, let's just say that this some random coin, right? And they get 40% migrated. It doesn't happen. The way our system works, if you fail the migration, I think like with right now our fail rate or our fail percentage is if the team can't migrate like 10%. It's super low. But say it's 51%, anything less is failed. When that migration fails, what we still do is we still sell migrated tokens into the LP, but rather than getting the any new tokens, the people who migrated would simply get the SOL. So you would still get a giant red candle in that case. But the reality is that they could either go and buy the token back, or the old token holders who didn't migrate could then get it for a bunch of less, way cheaper, right? So I don't know, it creates an interesting dynamic.
Well, you still have the MFT, right? So you can take the MFT and potentially you could just get your coins back instead of having to go through the SOL.
No, because they get sold down.
Bridge, you get
gotcha. Okay.
Backs.
No fixie backsies. Okay.
No backsies, bro. This is no backsies. Yeah. So it would only be on a failed migration. It's interesting. Maybe we'd run something like that to see how it goes. I do like that 51% idea.
Yeah.
That shows that, hey, you have to you have to generate enough community support. Yeah.
And it's happening, right? I mean, you've seen 72, 68, 57, 49, and this is only 2 days in. So it's definitely something that if the community wants to be a part of, they can be a part of. If not, it just doesn't go through. And that could be something requirement. Hey, you guys need 51%, or this is up to you guys to promote this and promote us. And if you guys want this to get out there, which benefits you guys, because you guys, more people are going to hear the name MigrateFun.
And maybe you guys could do like thresholds too, to where like if the market cap of the token is more than like 60 million, then
it drops down.
it's more centralized approach from us. And then if it's like a 50 million or below, then that's more of a decentralized approach that you have the option if you want, or you can be handheld or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I just know there are a lot of the number of outlier, just weird cases of whatever. They have 30% of the supplies locked in stream flow because they just wanted to be good guys and they locked it in stream flow. And it's just, there's just like endless stuff like that. But there are definitely, we've been approached by multiple teams who basically want to cut out a bad actor. Somebody who stole tokens, or the original dev who, still owns 40% of the supply, yet hasn't been seen for a year. There's all these like kind of weird edge cases, and we haven't done any of those yet. But we do get approached, and I don't know the perfect way is it's really almost one off on each one.
I think you guys found a good sweet spot right now, though. You know what I mean? To where they're coming to you, teams are coming to you. Hey, we need your help. You guys have the best service in this industry, right? You're the leading in this. And so you guys, continue rocking and rolling. And I think you guys would be fine with that. And then obviously you guys are getting bigger and bigger requests. And I'm excited to hear, I know it's been like secretive, but like, I know there's a big player in there, and I'm excited to hear that news once it comes. But I'm curious about you, because like, we've like Shizzy said, we've obviously had Jake on, we've had you on multiple times, and Chris, and I feel like Chris seems to be like kind of I guess like navigating towards the Emblem side a little bit. I feel like you have like experience across all. Is there one part that you're going to be more specialized in or over, or you're just going to be like the utility kind of across the board continuously?
I don't know. I think part of my role is trying to, create a vision of where we want to go, and be able to express that vision to the team, and so that we can kind of craft our way forward. Because none of us really know where we're going to be in a year. Like, it's one of those things where we have a couple of really, really working, points of the team, but this could change. It could change rapidly. Right. I think we're just, it's really difficult. I mean, myself, it's just trying to take in all this like information that I'm receiving from, the outside world, the timeline, and think about where crypto's going, and then integrate it into the tool set that we have. And the tool set, as I said, the tool set that we have now is so huge. It's overwhelming to me. Like, I, had a talk with Chris the other, maybe last week or whatever, just trying to get a handle on how he understands what we have. Right. And I'll have other discussions with like Shannon just to try and get his viewpoint on what we have. Because it's bigger kind of than all of us at this point in time, and understanding it as much as possible to try and drive direction, which would create the most value for everybody on the team. I think that's my job to a large extent. And so I'm leaning into it. Hopefully to get a little bit of time off, maybe over the Christmas holidays, to like have a time to like think for 2 seconds. Because there's a big difference between like crafting a strategy of where you want to go and answering 150 DMs a day. Like, there's a big difference, right? And right now I'm in like customer service mode, which is not ideal for like crafting strategy. So hopefully get a little time over the holidays to like be able to think about this on a larger scale. Cause like the reality is we're probably going to come out with a Hustle product that's basically a web extension wallet where Hustle lives as a web extension. I don't know if Jake talked to you guys about this at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just think about this, basically an AI powered wallet. I mean, is that our best play? I don't know. I see Farcaster basically give up on being a social platform and move into a wallet platform. Right. And I'm like, geez, man, they raised $180 million. Right. And not that I want to raise $180 million, but I would like to create the most value for our team. Right. And so creating the most value, we have to provide the most value, or at least the most perceived value, as to where this crypto market is going. And when I see where we're going, I see where we're going to digitizing and the tokenization of basically all of Wall Street, right? And prediction markets, I think, the play is not that I'm going to bet the fucking Super Bowl. The play is that I'm going to be able to bet every stock, every bond, every ETF, everything through one interface. And that's what they're looking at it as. There's like, how do I trade every digital asset? And so stocks are going to be first, all of Wall Street's second, and then real world assets are third. And so that interface where me as an investor interfaces, who's going to be the winner? Is it going to be a wallet like Phantom? Maybe. They just I heard today they're integrating Kalshi in there. Is it going to be MetaMask? Fuck no, because MetaMask sucks, right? But we have a potential to be that interface. And the reality is, I think we have as good crazy as it sounds, I think we have an incredible opportunity to be that interface, because there are only a handful of teams building this AI wallet infrastructure. There's like 5 teams on Earth that I would consider, like probably 3 teams on Earth that are legit competitors to us. And so, as either an acquisition vehicle or as just we build it and get huge, both seem to me right now, and maybe I'll change my mind over the new year. That seems to be like where, if I'm thinking that they're privy with none of that. Simply the wallet layer got acquired for however many hundreds of millions of dollars. We have that exact same wallet layer and an AI layer and a cross-chain layer. You know, what's the value there? I'm bro, my head starts smoking, right? But part of that is we have to focus on the right things to make it happen, right? And so it's challenging, man. And Jake's got a big challenge, you know, as the leader of the team. But
Yeah,
me helping craft that narrative and that story in that direction that's my big job.
So I'm wondering. You said, you know, you customer service is kind of your biggest thing right now. Is there? Do you ever see a day where you maybe just take all your DMs, all Jake's DMs, throw them in Agent Hustle?
It's done, bro. It's literally done. I put in it's like a 30-page doc, Q&A, just on MigrateFun, right? And Shannon's working with it right now.
Let's go.
Basically, create the hustle version.
That's what you guys do. Yeah. You just have a problem and you solve that. I love it. I love it. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's I started compiling the doc, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and talked to Shannon. Shannon's like, give me the doc and I'll start working on it with Hustle, and we'll start grinding in where either it's, you know, on the website or just in the DMs and Telegram, where people can just ask questions to Hustle. And of course, we'll still be there.
You'll monitor it, yeah.
Just because 90% of these questions are the same question over again. And nobody reads FAQs. Like, that bullshit doesn't work.
True.
Especially when it's like, it's literally like 300 questions, you know? So,
yeah.
Well, we're on it, bro. We're on it, man.
I'm looking at the notes that I took for this segment, and, you know, I'm not going to go into like super deep detail, right? But, you know, Q1, huge potential for, or huge rollouts for MigrateFun, and those partnerships are like really big, the potential for them. Then you have like Hustle next release, you're integrating huge like tooling into it, right? And like conditionals on every chain, all these things, cross-chain swaps, all that stuff is coming. Then you got the Emblem, you know, SDK, which I think is going to be humongous. Like, I think that's
what do you lean into, bro?
That's the major difference, I think, is like, and you guys are doing all this without the funding, right? Without the VC funding, right? You found a way to be able to, first of all, kind of survive as you were building these. Secondly, develop revenue streams with each product. But not just that, like, you're not sitting on your thumbs. You guys are rolling out. You know, that's one of the things I think like VCs have a lot of trouble with, the companies or teams that they invest in, is the rollouts are so slow and all these things. Like, you know, people aren't really screaming at you guys, but they don't need to, because like you guys are constantly rolling out updates, right? So why do you think you guys just kind of missed that like VC phase in 2024, to where you guys were trying to get like everything in order? Because I feel like if you guys moved everything you have right now to 2024, you guys would had like all types of checks thrown at you guys. So what do you think that was? Was it the timing? Was the timing off? Is that what the main thing was?
I think the main thing is we had a real product. That's the problem. If you want to raise money with VCs, better just have idea. In my experience, real product, real revenue, like that scene from you know, Silicon Valley, which is like, we don't want revenue, we want to be pre-revenue. That's the most true scene in that entire show. People don't want to see that we made, I don't know, 50,000 ETH in NFT volume in 2021, because now it's lower and it's like, oh, well, now you have nothing. Well, dude, we're the number one NFT bridge. Yeah, but I can't. What's the value of that? I don't know. You know. And so in a lot of ways, it's way easier. You know, I joke with the guys, but it's like, it'd be way easier if we had nothing right now, literally zero. And we just put a team together, and we're gonna be the I don't know, stable coin bridge between all chains. Let's go raise, you know, $60 million to build it. Like, we could probably do that. Like, if I came with like Shannon and this OG dev and all this, and go raise millions of dollars to build out something, we could probably go do that. But whether we ever build it or not, like, probably not. The VCs are probably going to lose money on that, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is that if I could sell it that way and sell that there's going to be a, you know, a TGE somewhere in there, you know, We could definitely raise. I mean, look at all the chains that raised off of Ordinals and being the L2. How many of those even put a fucking anything out there, dude? Most of them are just dust in the wind, man. And that yet they raised infinitely more money than we've raised. No money, right? We have no money, right? On nothing, you know, and it does get discouraging, right? That well, I will not lie. That is
the reward. The reward can be substantially larger though with acquisition. So you get to a place like Privy, right? Which you guys seem to be taking that step. And if that's the decision that you guys make as a team to sell eventually, then you're not looking at 10 million, 50 million. You're possibly looking at hundreds of millions, if not more, right? So, I mean, that's has to be idea, to be the focus at this point, right?
That is our focus. Our focus is building out, trying to generate revenue. We need to generate revenue. We don't have VC runway, so we have to generate revenue and but build towards something that will be highly attractive. And so that's the kind of that's our job over the next couple months to define that vision to a degree and bring kind of the pieces together, because they are disjointed pieces, no doubt. Especially with like the Emblem legacy stuff with the NFTs and NFT bridge and stuff. How does that integrate into the AI, right? What is this? I mean, my vision now is somewhat to this, like, an AI wallet infrastructure for all digital assets, right? How these assets move within that AI and that infrastructure, like that's the under the hood, the Emblem, secret sauce. And so I think we have a compelling vision there just with that, but it does need to be refined and things do need to be integrated. We're working on the NFT integration into Hustle now. I think this is like a big step for us. Just from an ease and usability perspective. I mean, it's way better. You guys didn't use Emblem in 20 and 21. It was so freaking clunky. It was almost unusable. And yet we still did, 50,000 ETH in volume, right? That's with a clunky, terrible product, right? Now it's infinitely better, and it's only going to get better when it's in Hustle. I think the value accrual will be amazing to that. But it is this just, I mean, the vision of an AI chat interface to manage your digital assets, like, I think it's amazing. And I just think we have a real good chance of we're sitting here in a year and we're the leader, right? Banker's the leader today, no doubt. But I think we have advantages over Banker, and Banker being tied to Coinbase is like great for them, good for them. They're not going anywhere. But us being multi-chain, like truly multi-chain from the jump, I think is a huge advantage for us.
Dude, and I think that was so genius to do, to add, take Emblem Vault and just put it in Hustle, because when I went there, we did a full tutorial on it, and I was like, I don't want to lose this asset, right? I was a little scared about making. I was worried about Shizzy making a mistake, not what you guys are doing, but like with Agent Hustle, I'm going to be able to, hey, I just deposited or I just sent to my Hustle wallet a rare Pepe. Can you take that over to ETH and just let me know when it's done? And then I could just be like, it's Shizzy proof at that point, right? I can't make a mistake.
It's so fun because we've been talking about this for really literally from the time I joined Emblem, which was basically what we were calling at the time a jump feature, right? Which was you log into Emblem Vault, you take your Bitcoin asset and you want to jump it to ETH, you kind of click the jump button and it happens, right? But even that, it requires, going to your wallet, sending the asset into the wallet, right? All these kind of like clunky steps. But now, for really the first time, where I'm just like, oh my God, how it happens can be completely hidden. And I couldn't be more excited. It's literally the thing that was never going to work in crypto for me. And I know for most people was never going to work, where it's like, you have to know about bridges and all this stuff, bro, taking that all away, where it's an invisible nothing. And just, I want to buy some fart coin. And they're like, do you want to pay with Apple Pay? Yes. Boom. Done. And I don't even know how it happened, yet I have fart coin in my wallet. Like, this is the way it's going to be for the normies. And yeah, the most of the stuff that's built now does not have that ability to do it across multiple chains and take your assets across multiple chains. You just don't have the ability. And we kind of have the ability, meaning that a lot has to be built, like a lot. But yeah, it's fucking amazing, dude. You're getting me pumped.
100%. Well, so there's a day on the campus. Besides that, it was a great talk, but like I want to get back to Migrate before we let you go here. So on this day, 12/15, right? I'm going to be paying attention to this, and I think everyone, including pump.fun, including Bonk, they're all going to be looking at what is happening on 15th, because this is something that's never been done before, right? Your migration last time was a lot easier than it was this time, because you were able to just take it to another pool and just, bypass the the bonding curve feature. You can't do that this time with pump. And this is, everyone's gonna be watching right after 12:15 to 7 p.m.
Is it gonna get Yeah, bro. This was very, of course, my smooth brain barely understands the technical nature. How do you sell out buy the bonding curve, and then, so for example, let's just say the market cap of a coin that's migrating and going to end on the 15th is $1 million, right? So the bonding curve is whatever, 85 SOL, but then you got to get back and get all those tokens up to $1 million. How do you do that without snipers coming in and buying your stuff? And then when you need to buy more tokens, they dump on your head, right? How does that work? I'm not going to tell you the details, bro, because it was we don't want the snipers to know the details, bro.
Don't tell anybody.
But it was a technical challenge. It took over a month of our devs working on it, where we feel like we're pretty secure that look, it's crypto, right? And I don't know, somebody could figure it out. It's possible. Like anything is possible. But as of now, we've run multiple tests on it already. We were able to buy out the bonding curve and then buy out up to a market cap, which we set. So in that case, it goes up to $1 million. Basically, we buy all the way through to $1 million without snipers being able to come in. We think it's a pretty big technical achievement. And it's only available at migrate.fun. Nice. But we'll see, bro. At the end of the day,
a product is going to spawn from this. ICM.
Yeah, I know there are going to be people gunning for it, right? Of course, dude. And our reputation and the stability of MigrateFun is on the line, man. I mean, this is where I get super nervous and I want to do more testing and more of this and that. We have some things up our sleeve as well to kind of discourage bots. I won't go into what that is because it's kind of behind the scenes. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There will be some activity around these migrations. And so it's going to be interesting to watch. Knock on wood, everything goes great. We get it right to the market cap. Team's happy, we're happy, and it can begin trading with that nice, green candle right at the start on pump.fun. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's not, look, trust me, I pushed Alon hard to let us just buy out the bonding curve and buy up to a market cap and go directly to pump swap. He wouldn't do it, man. He wanted us to go through the bonding curve, because it would have required some technical changes
on their side
that would, and hopefully this goes well. And they're like, yes, okay, we'll let you do it. And they do the technical work to make this possible in the future, because it would be easier and would take away the risk. There's still obviously some risk, but yeah, we think we've got this figured. But we'll, until you do it live, right? I'm sure those bots are going to come in heavy, bro. It's gonna be real fun to watch, man.
100%. I'm gonna be cheering for you guys. 100%.
I'm
gonna sit there, but I got a feeling that everyone, after it goes good and everything's good, every one of you guys just being like, yes, because the product is built at that point.
It works, man. It works, and it's obviously Pump's the 1,000-pound gorilla. Going to Pump is a big deal. Obviously, Pump. I mean, I think to a large degree, their creator rewards and stuff, I think they rolled them out quick. They saw MigrateFun happen and they were like, shit, let's up the game. Like they realize, and I've seen behind the curtain of all these different teams. It is a battle. These teams are battling. It is the free market. They are doing everything in their power to get teams on their team, on their side, moving to their platforms. Like which is good. Like, dude, this is capitalism.
Good for you guys.
It's good for the users. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of good for us. We don't make a shit ton of money, but we make some money. It's good for the platforms. It brings awareness to everybody. And I'm all for that kind of like, pressure to make people better.
Yeah.
And again, somebody could come in and offer, super fees and zero, money back to trader. Who knows?
So that's the thing I was going to ask you. So the creator rewards, cool and all that stuff, but like it seems like the traders are the ones that need the most money.
Trader rewards. Right?
They're the ones that are getting beat up the most. Do you think that would ever be? Do you think they're just reacting to the current market conditions too? Because like liquidity is not abundant, so it's not a trader's market necessarily to create.
I've talked to a bunch of people about trader rewards. So at least in the early portion of a coin's history, you reward the traders rather than the creator. And I think it's being discussed, and I have no doubt that a team's going to come out with a launch pad that does that.
Why are they against it though? What's holding them back?
I think teams right now, meaning like Pump and Bonk, I think the current meta is creator rewards.
And so getting coins out there, basically.
Yeah, that's basically launching as many coins as possible, because obviously they're just earning fees on volume of coins, right? So the reality is they don't care if the coin goes up, right? They just want trading of the coin, right? So in that, for me, but again, figuring out what is the right model is so difficult, bro. I could talk about me thinking it's a good idea for 1,000 years. When somebody actually builds it, it might fall flat on its fucking face. Like, you have no idea if stuff is going to really work until you test it.
And it's easy to kind of, point the finger and be all upset and stuff. But like, let's say that like Pump did switch it to trader rewards, their entire business could collapse, like the model, because Bonk's going to just pick that up really quick and be more about like the volume. Because at the end of the day, like some of these coins that do sustain high market caps, like the people want new opportunities. So the trading volume is going to be, not as intense as if you were to launch 1,000 coins, right? I'm not saying I'm for that, because it's not, obviously from a trader's perspective, you don't like it, because you want to get into a coin that goes higher in market cap, especially if you earned it to get in early. Yep. But that's just not the liquidity environment right now.
Well, you can get the best of both worlds, right? If you just put in an automatic buy and burn. So the creator maybe hits a button and it's an automatic buy and burn, right? All the creator rewards goes into buying and burning the token. And it's automatic. It's you know what I mean?
Option,
so that benefits the trader, and then that, you know what I mean? And then it benefits the creator because he holds the token.
How does the creator benefit at all in that
scenario? He has to have
some skin in the game. But that's one of the things that supposedly the Mayhem kind of token standard was going to be about, right? But if the liquidity environment's not right, then it's going to be hard to get a coin past, like right now, it's really hard to get a coin past 5 million in the first couple of days.
Yeah.
And then talk about 10 million. Like there has to be really strong, like cabalish type situations.
Yeah, basically it needs to be completely bundled, right? It's like somebody's got to own 95%.
So I've changed my perspective on bundles. I think you need bundles. I think you actually need like a certain percentage, 30-40%. The team behind the bundle is what makes or breaks it. So
I think I found out wrong.
Right?
These bigger coins that are hundreds of millions of dollars, like it's controlled supply.
100%.
There's just
controlled supply.
You can't get it. You can't get a 1,000 monkeys in a room without people dumping it to zero, right? It's like
you got the Bellscoin crew. Bellscoin News says, "I'm Adam's biggest fan." Well, welcome to the show, Bellscoin News.
Bro, Bellscoin's not even above 5 million right now.
Opportunity.
Hey, meme coins aren't going anywhere, man. There will be another meme coin cycle. I will bet my life on that, man. There's no question that's gonna happen.
We just talked to the team behind Opcat Labs. They're building a potential chain, right? It's going to be
Oh, really?
proof of work type thing. Yeah, we talked to them, and they didn't tell us the tech stack yet, but we assumed it's going to be a Bitcoin fork type thing, similar to Fractal, but without the merge mining, which destroyed Fractal. But obviously Opcat, they're going to have Opcat on that chain. Bellscoin has Opcat, right? So
It's gonna have it Christmas Day. Yar's putting it out on Christmas.
whoa!
Yeah.
What a good morning, Bellscoin. Let's go.
Yeah, Christmas Day, it's going out. He wanted to pick a big day. Yeah, it's funny, man. Bellscoin community, Bellscoin news right there, man. Dude, they're still working, man. I give them all the credit, dude. They're trying to get Kraken. Actually, Bellscoin news actually sent a giant care package to Kraken headquarters. And it's
Smart.
like they're still working, bro. They're still grinding, man. I love it, dude. Yeah.
I feel like those are the coins and communities that like you gotta always pay attention to, because when the liquidity gets right for the markets, those are the ones that shoot up crazy.
Yeah. The multi-cycle coins, I never bet against. Never bet against. And
it's so Bellscoin news a follow, guys. Get him out there.
He's a hustler, man. Maybe a little bit insane, but he's a hustler. Don't give him I wouldn't give him your address. To talk to. He's a hustler, man. He was talking with the Kraken in their Discord and stuff about he's sending a box. And I just know those Kraken guys are like, oh shit, what's going to be in
what's in this?
What's in the box?
Adam,
he's like, I'm sending them cookies. I'm like, bro, there ain't no way they're eating your fucking cookies, bro. Zero chance, bro.
What's the one thing out of those three that I was talking about that's upcoming? What's the one thing that you're most excited about? Like the Migrate, Emblem, and Hustle?
I mean, long term, definitely Hustle. I mean, it's like, I think, obviously AI did have its kind of moment in the sun this cycle, but that was literally just hype. There was nothing actually built at that time other than, the weakest chatbots on earth. Now it's like you're seeing this, dude. This is happening. People are building whatever bots to trade Polymarket, bots to trade football, all of this sort of stuff is happening, and the AI is getting so good so fast, like just exponentially better, faster. Like, would I trust Hustle or any AI agent on earth to manage my portfolio today? Of course not, right? No, but I would trust it to trade. But in a year or 18 months, I think people will be trusting big portions of their portfolio to AI agent controlled wallets. Like, yes, I do believe that's going to happen. Just because it's getting exponentially better. So yeah, I just think long term, that's the most exciting thing for us and the team. But for right now, bro, you gotta make the money, man. And the money is MigrateFun. The attention's MigrateFun. Like, when you find a winner, bro, you just triple down on that winner, man. You go hard. I was telling my kid, because he's a YouTuber now, and he caught some like videos that were running, and I'm just like, how are you going to remake that video in 50 different ways? And that's all he's been doing the last week, right? He grew his account from like, I don't know, 150K on YouTube to like 700K in like 10 days. Yeah.
Oh,
and just
God.
grinding.
10 days?
Yeah. He's got like, I don't know, almost 400 million views on that channel now.
Wow.
In
need some tips, bro.
He's a YouTube guru now.
And but he's really good when he catches a winner. Man, I'm gonna remake that winner 50 different ways, man. You just triple down on the winners. So
is it the clipping pretty much?
No, he's making his own kind of Minecraft videos. Yeah, he's a Minecraft.
Oh, nice.
But when you see something that works, whatever, he gets kids to subscribe because this little thing itches the back of that little 10-year-old's head and they hit subscribe button. Bro, how can I feed that to like another 100,000 kids, another million kids, another million kids, another million kids? It's insane, dude. It's insane. And so for me with MigrateFun, it's like we have a winner here. This is clearly a winner. There's clearly needs for this. How do we just, get as many teams across the finish line as possible. And then, you know, these bigger teams or bigger projects that want to move cross chain or just move to different launch pads or whatever, you know, reach out, make that happen. And, you know, Jake will tell you there's some to get from idea. Hey, I want to take my project across chain to getting it across chain, bro. There's a lot of work in there, right? No doubt. But bro, that's what we're built for, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. A lot of interacting with exchanges and stuff. I mean, the exchanges, God help us. We do have to get past exchanges. Like, if there's one thing we in the crypto industry have to get by, is we have to get past these exchanges.
Well, it does look like they're going to meet you halfway.
What's that?
They're going to meet you halfway because it looks like they're all coming on chain, especially with Coinbase this week, right? So
there will be acquisitions in the future, and yeah, I mean, it's one of the, when we're talking about like who could potentially want to acquire kind of the hustle and Emblem tech stack, certainly exchanges are one of those, because most of them can't build stuff quick enough on the kind of cutting edge. And so, yeah, I think, you know, along with a couple of chains, I think, exchanges are one of our favorite acquisition potentials. Yeah, we'll see.
Love it.
Keep building, bro.
I just noticed that's you.
Yeah, no,
I didn't notice that at first.
A little bit.
He said that he's his biggest fan.
He really is. He really is.
I don't know if I should be terrified or flattered, bro.
Well, Adam, man, this has been absolutely awesome, dude. We really appreciate you. We'll give you the stage one last time. If there's anything left, you stay to the 740 people that are watching right now.
Yeah, man. Well, I'd say just go to agenthustle.ai. That's the best way to see what we're up to. Go use them free. You get, I don't know, 10 prompts a day for free. Just check out the multi-chain stuff that's happening. It's not fully done yet, but the cross-chain trading and exchanging and swapping, like, dude, this is the future, man. It is. I have no doubt. So begin using that future today and be prepared, man, because it's gonna get sick over the next year. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, man, and enjoy your weekend. We will see you later.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Take it easy.
All right. Amazing as always. Really appreciate Adam taking the time out. I mean, he's probably got a million DMs during this hour call, I'm sure. But this is our show, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you guys watching over everywhere. I mean, remember, we are on Twitch, X, Rumble, YouTube, Zora, Pump, Abstract, and everywhere else, and Zora. So I think it's Zora Toys, but appreciate every single one of you guys, man. It is Friday. I'm gonna be playing some Arc Raiders. If any of you guys want to play
every day.
I need a friend to play with me because my brother can't keep up. He has a job, so he can't play with me as much. But if any of you guys are playing Arc Raiders, hit me up. I'm just at Chizzy or hit me on X, and we'll team up together. But it could be fun to play with some of you guys. But that's our show, man. Really appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And although Bitcoin isn't really jumping up crazy right now, the MAGA token I was talking about is over 1 million. It's at 1.2 million.
Whoa.
But yeah, so it does pay to pay attention and kind of learn the trenches a little bit. But like I said, super risky and probably don't want to get in as it's forming a huge candle right now. But if you did get in at like 500K when we were talking about it, you're winning there.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yep. But guys, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys are amazing. Look, you know, we do this because we love the space. We have a passion for the space, and we love to interact with you guys. So we appreciate you guys commenting on every platform and all that stuff. Without you guys, we couldn't do this, and we thank you so much. Also, without our partners, though, we couldn't do it. So if you could check them out, we would greatly appreciate that. Emblem Vault is the interoperability layer of the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you are looking to jump or bridge your Bitcoin ordinals or NFTs like Rare Pepes and Nakamoto cards and ordinals like Taproot Wizards over to Ethereum, you got to use Emblem Vault. Why? Because they've been doing this since 2021. They have been building on Bitcoin since 2013. So they have all the experience in the world to be the best at this, and they are. And so right now you can actually take out a loan against your Taproot Wizard on the Gandhi application if you bridge it over using Emblem Vault, and they'll take care of you over there. They're going to open this up to other layers and ecosystems, and Solana is one of those as well. And I'm sure they're going to open to other EVMs and Hedera possibly. But speaking of Solana and Hedera and BSC, they have the best AI product over there in those ecosystems called agenthustle.ai. You can ask Hustle, find me some low cap gems, and he'll bring back a couple options depending on like what ecosystem you're in. He'll bring back those options and tell you why he thinks that these are solid. But you also can do conditional trading within Hustle, as there's an engine built within the framework here. So, if you're on Hedera, you want to do conditional trades on, their top tokens over there, he can take care of that for you while you're doing whatever you need to take care of, right? And there's different tiers of subscription. There's a free tier that you can test out right now. But make sure you go test it out, because I think they're going to upgrade the framework to an X402. So, it's still going to be cheap because it's going to be per prompt, but they have the subscriptions that are the paid ones, right? That's going to be the monthly one, and you get more tools and more prompts, of course, right? Like the free ones, I think you get like a couple prompts just to test it out, but you can pay with the Hustle token, which is the single token that powers the entire Emblem ecosystem, and you'll get a 30% discount, I believe, if you pay with that. But again, you want to have an edge, and that's in the paid subscription area there. And then there's the last product that they have right now that's live is migrate.fun, and they are in their third cohort right now with the pump cohort. And so if you're interested in moving your community and token over to another launchpad on Solana, go to migrate.fun, check out how this one is going. And you can reach out to the team. They're very responsive, and ask them any questions that you have. They're really good at guiding teams through this process to make it as easy as possible. And if you're a participant, a part of a community, make sure you go to our channel, OnChain Revolution, on YouTube, and you can see the example of how to do it. Or the latest example video is on our X account. So go over there to check it out. And head over to emblem.vision as well, so you can see all the details about all the products I just broke down for you guys for this team. And then Merlin Chain is uniting Bitcoin strength through the power of their AI with the Wizard version 2.0 that guides you through Merlin Chain's ecosystem, but also can swap for tokens outside the ecosystem in Solana and BSC. All you got to do is have some Merlin Chain Bitcoin in your wallet, and the Wizard will take care of the rest for you. But going back to the ecosystem, it can make swaps in Merlin Chain's ecosystem on your behalf using Merlin Swap, or it can stake for you as well. And speaking of staking, there is a proof of stake security model that Merlin Chain uses, and you can participate in 3 ways. The first way is to stake a Bitcoin to earn more Bitcoin. In their first staking vault that they had for this, they got 17% APR back for their stakers there, right? And it lasts 3 months. And so the current staking vault is going to end January 8th. So it is a 3-month straight staking vault. It's not 3 months from when you get in. So right now you have less than 1 month to participate in this one, but they will open another one after this one closes, and they will always shoot for, that APR that's in that range, right? The lowest 8%, highest 21%. So just know that, the APR is juicy for staking Bitcoin, and you get paid in Bitcoin, by the way. So it's a really awesome product there. And then there's 2 other ways to participate in the staking with the Merlin Chain token. The first one is the flexible day-to-day option, which you earn 15% APR, and you can claim your rewards every single day. If you want to withdraw your Merl token, it does take 7 days for their cooldown period, so just know that. And then the last option is the bonded option, which is a 6-month lockup period, and you earn 45% APR. Which is amazing. The Merlin Chain token has shown a lot of strength in this current market for the past 3 months. That has been really tough, right? So could be a good option for you. That's up to you. But the cool thing about the 6-month lockup is you can claim those rewards daily as well, but your tokens are locked up for 6 months. So just know that. And that's why you get the 45% APR. But we thank you guys so much for checking those 2 partners out. The last one we have is Satsman. Satsman.fun is a launch pad for Bitcoin Layer 1, leveraging the ICP tech stack. You can actually currently start bidding for future rune tickers as the ticker numbers are starting to go down, right? So some of these are going to be really popular. This team is brilliant. They have a great team that knows and has been building for scaling Bitcoin Layer 1 for a very long time. And once you launch a token on Satsman, it actually gets bonded and it goes to Rich Swap and has a liquidity pool there. But let's say that you don't get, you get outbidded for one of these tickers, you actually get your Bitcoin back. And same thing for the bond situation. If participants try to bond and it doesn't bond within a certain time frame, you get your Bitcoin back too. So the risk is very minimal with that, and the launch should be next week. So super excited about that.
Yeah, 100%. And look at this one, right? This guy put 50 sats per VByte. They got 96% refund, right? Because it only used 4. So that's a big deal, I think. I think that's one of the best parts. Same thing here. He put in 3. He got 33% back. He put in 5. He got 6%. So you guys can put 100 if you're okay with paying that. You will pay it up front, and then in the back end, you'll get the refund as long as no one bids against you. But we're seeing some pretty cool tickers here too as well. Ant Miner. You're seeing Aping In, risk free, and then you look up here. If you want it unknown or useless, I think, or winning, there's some pretty good tickers that you could bid on. So that's pretty cool. But if you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out OnChainRevolution.io, some of the best articles dating all the way back to 2023. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. A new article kind of really explaining all about Satsman, Omnity, and Rich Swap all in one article. These are about 3 to 4 minute reads. You have to read these guys. You can't miss them because it's so much information jam-packed in the one article. And we have articles on a bunch of other stuff as well, Monad, Fed, and an Omnity one as well. So definitely check out everything here. There. If you guys need a VPN, we have a VPN link for you guys. You guys can get the holiday deal right now, 77% off. Lock it in for 2 years, set it, forget it. You get an extra 3 months or 27 months for about $60, $70, and you guys lock it in, forget about it. And then you're able to use stuff like Mexi, Hyperliquid, and everything that geo-blocks you right now. Put yourself in Italy. That's the server that I like the most, and I use it every single day. It also allows me to use Italian TikTok and stuff like that. So definitely get a VPN. If you do launch like a meme coin or something, and that meme coin takes off, they can potentially find out where you live because they'll just check your IP address, and then they pretty much pinpoint where you actually were when you launched that. And it's not a good idea to do that without a VPN. So make sure you guys have a VPN for basically anything you do in crypto for sure. And if you guys are interested in locking up your crypto or buying somebody who is in crypto a ledger, we highly recommend the ledgers here. I have the Ledger Nano X. I paid about $130 for mine. Right now you can get it for $74. Come in here, get yourself a ledger, or get yourself a Christmas present. Get yourself a ledger. Do not buy it from eBay. Do not buy it from Amazon. Make sure you buy it from our link on our site, because this will take you to the #1 place to make sure it's safe, secure, and it gets to you. And it'll come in like the ledger box will be inside another box, so no one even knows that you've received the ledger. So that's the best part as well. So no one can take advantage of you for whatever reason. But get yourself a hardware wallet today. Make sure you guys use our link. Everything can be found at OnChainRevolution.io. And remember, guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until Monday.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction.